Start.
God. All praises. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharallah, Wahabi of Saparia, Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Acha, Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Acha, Kalaya. Praise the mighty Yahweh. Because he's worthy to be praised. Lord's Prayer. Abba Yanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Ma'alak with Ka, Dabaha, Ratzazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratzaza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Natananawa, Nacham, Ho, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kawawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawaf Wala'a, Tabiya Nawa, Manasaya One, Abo, Awashinawa, Man, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwaf, Waha'ala, Wahata Paraf, Lai Walamyam, Aman. Psalms 121. Y'all don't have to repeat it. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee shall not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out, thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. The Wadi Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Kalaya. Aman. Come. All praises.
Well, that frankincense ain't hidden right there.
It is that murder. It ain't frankincense. Don't be afraid to buy none. Anybody.
I ran out of money.
It's on live. It's going. Okay. So yeah, everybody coming in, all praises. You know what I'm saying? But we all live, family. We all live. Baba Bashar. You know, we're about to start. Let's go to First Maccabees, the first chapter. Let me see, this mic working, right? You got new batteries in it?
Oh, they good. Yeah. You gotta turn it on.
Turn on.
Turn the mic.
It is on.
Oh. Try again.
Always got the best mic. Mic check. All praises. So let's start real quick. First Maccabees, the first chapter. So remember, we read it earlier, but you know what? You get that real quick. Look up the Hasmonean Dynasty. We're gonna read that also for the class, so they could, people online, so they can get that understanding also. When you look this up, you'll realize that this is actual true history, and it's biblical history and world history.
Say it again.
The Hasmonean Dynasty. If anybody ever scoffs y'all and tell you the Bible's not real, all you gotta do is show them the history where it's real. There's nothing fake about it. You know, we can prove this once again through history, archaeology, through prophecy, and the spirit. It may sound harsh, but the spirit of white people, the spirit of the Greeks. The Greeks were not black people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there was black Greeks, but the Edomites were the Greeks, right? They were so-called Europeans, what they would be called today. You got it up?
Hasmonean?
Hasmonean dynasty. Go ahead.
The Hasmonean dynasty was a ruling dynasty of Judea and surrounding regions during the Hellenistic time of the Second Temple period, from c. 140 BCE to 37 BCE. Between 140 and 116 BCE, the dynasty ruled Judea semi-autonomously within the Seleucid Empire, and from roughly 1110 BEC.
See, so all these dates and timelines, you can look it up yourself. It's not hard. You know, Google should be your friend. It should, you know, you got a lot of folks, they'll come with their conspiracy theories, but everything you can't believe on Google, yes, there's certain things that they'll put in there to twist it up, but history is history. You can't hide history, right? It's not only on Google, you can find it in other documentations, you know, just look it up, right? You gotta apply yourself, right, on your own research, go ahead.
From roughly 110 BEC, with the empire, this terrain gained further autonomy of expanding into the neighboring regions, Samaria, Idumea, Galilee, and Iturea. The Hasmonean rule took the Greek title. The kingdom obtained regional powers status for several decades. Force of the Roman Republic intervened in the Hasmonean Civil War in 63 BCE, turning the kingdom into the declining state and marking an irreversible decline.
And this is why the white folks, which is really the Protestant church, right? The Catholics, Roman Catholics, they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible because the Apocrypha gives you real lifetime history. I mean, the whole Bible gives you life history, but it's easier to prove the Greek history more than it is Egypt. You see what I'm saying? It's real, and it shows you the true colors and true spirit of our oppressors, right? And how they still deal with the same ordinances as today. You see it from the Roman Colosseums when you look at your boxing fights, when you look at your wrestling fights, when you look at the stadiums and baseball and basketball. All of that come from Romans. You know, not the actual sports itself, but the atmosphere, the setup. I don't know if y'all watched the new Gladiator movie. Y'all watched that new Gladiator movie? They got different scenes. It was cold how they were just not fighting one-on-one. Now they fighting lions, they fighting bears, they were fighting on the ships and water. If y'all didn't watch it, I'm sorry I'm ruining it for you. But they were fighting on ships like Battleship. You ever played the game Battleship? They were fighting on the water. These are different events. When you look at wrestling, right? Wrestling have the ladder match, the chair, the barbed wire match, all of that is Roman. You know, it comes from the Romans and the Greeks. They was wrestling, right? Wrestling butt naked though. Okay, so this history, yeah, the Greeks was wrestling butt naked. You ain't know that? They set up their temples and all of that. Even they wrestling and all of that. Who they presented it to? Who did the Greeks present their wrestling fights to and their workout sessions to? Anybody know? No. You up here. Who they present? Who they presented it in the name of? All of their sports. Who? Zeus. That's what their god was. All their sports was in the name of Zeus, right? And you can look. All of this is real timeline history that goes into the Greek mythology, right? They'll teach you Greek mythology in school before they teach you about the Hasmonean dynasty. You see, they don't never tell you about that. When especially a victory of black folks killing and destroying white folk the way they did with guerrilla tactics, guerrilla warfare, man. See, the nations can't beat us one-on-one. That's why they have to use all of their technology and stuff. You look at the Vietnamese War, they said the Vietnam was kicking the white man's ass, America's ass, because they can't fight like that. Jake was winning. That's why they sent notes and they said, Negro, go home. This ain't your war. You can look that up also. You see what I'm saying? The white man can't do nothing without his technology. All right? And we're going to read about it. Let's go. You can drop that. Let's go to Maccabees, the first chapter. You want to bring anything up?
Come, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1. And it reads, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of Persians and Medes.
Right. So real quick, Alexander. This Alexander is all in the timeline of history, of world history. What Alexander is that? Alexander the Greek. We call him Alexander the Freak. Right? Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
You see that? So he won many wars, slew kings of the earth. This is what they do today. Go ahead.
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Right.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
And doesn't that happen every regime of a presidency? One president, what was it? Who took out Saddam Hussein? Was it Bush? Barack. But Bush started it with him. Or Bush was going for Osama.
Bush was going for, now matter of fact, Barack took out Osama.
Barack took out Osama.
And Bush took out Saddam.
Yeah.
You see? So all of them, when you go into it, they all, who took out Gaddafi? Was it Bush? Was it Obama?
Yeah.
You see, so all of them, and they're known, because when they leave their presidency, what they say? Oh, he took down such and such. He took down such and such. Trump, who Trump took out? Trump took out somebody too. I forgot who he took out. But this goes, it's just like this. These are, and we're going to read about Alexander's generals. They all got certain victories that put them in the Hall of Fame of their history moments. The same way our history moment and our Hall of Fame is the Maccabees, which we celebrating today. You see what I'm saying? So all, and this just shows you the same way they promote their history of their victories. This is the same way they were doing it in Greece. It's the same way they do it in today's presidential, they presidential regimes. Right? Go ahead.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Right, and now let's look that up real quick. Look up what did Alexander the Greek die from?
It was what we know as AIDS right now.
Right.
But it was something different then.
It was all types of diseases, because he slept with everything. If you look up the movie Caligula, you gotta have a stomach to watch it now. Caligula is no joke. You know what I'm saying? They showed it was the Caesars. Is it the Caesars or the Greeks? I think it was the Caesars. And they sleeping with horses, all types of animals. And this is the nature of the people we call Edom. All right? This is the nature of the Greeks. This is the nature of the Romans. This is the nature of white people. Right? Go ahead.
Alexander the Great died in Babylon in 323 BC. His death at age 32 followed a 2-week febrile illness. Speculated cause of death having included poisoning, assassination, and a number of infectious diseases.
Right. See, because they want to clean it up. Oh, it was poisonous. No, you got probably AIDS, syphilis, every STD you could think of. Because why? He was screwing little boys. He was screwing other men. He was screwing women, screwing animals. This is the nature of white people. And this is what they try to hide. That's why they take this stuff out of the Bible. Right? Go ahead.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
Right, and that's what they do today. Right? Look at Joe Biden. Before he leave, who he pardoned?
His son.
His son. He said, get that nigga out of there, because Trump gonna do him dirty. Right, go ahead.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
So what does that mean? They put crowns on them. They got anointed, right, to be leaders, to be kings of the earth. Go ahead.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
They were what?
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Every time the white man ruled, man, it's evils all over the earth. Go ahead.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. So Antiochus, this is another bigger demon that come out of it, right? Because the scriptures, what Yahweh shall tell you? A rotten tree can't bring forth good fruit, right? Go ahead.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Right. And what they do today, they give you Fat Joe, they give you Jay-Z, they give you P. Diddy, they give you all of them. Who they say? Vote or die. We going for Kamala. Then you got Lil Pump, right? Lil Pump, and who else for Trump? Kodak Black. But Kodak Black got a right to vote for Trump because he pardoned him. I would vote for Trump too if he pardoned me out of jail. You know what I'm saying? But you got jokers. You know, hey, come over here, man. Pick this side. Come with us. Kamala gonna do us good, right? Trump gonna do us good. And this is the same thing that they were doing back then. Read that one more time, 11.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
And what do they do today also in the colleges? The fraternities, the sororities, they pledge what? Greek. Right? And what do they do that for? For the benefits. There's benefits in that. Right? Because it's a secret society. You got your, you know what I'm saying? And that's how these jokers get jobs. You look at Atlanta. Atlanta is the home, they call it the home of black success. Right? Black jobs, black entrepreneurs, because they got a lot of black colleges. What they call them?
HBCUs.
Right. They got these colleges that's for black folk, and they got their sororities and their fraternities, and they pledge Greek, and that's why they all come up together. You know, New York ain't like that, crab in the barrel. Memphis ain't like that, crab in the barrel. Cali ain't like that, crabs in the barrel. Atlanta, they got more of them colleges, so that's why it's thriving when it comes to black success. But it's all part of pledging Greeks. So that's the same thing in 11. It says, for round about us, since we have departed, we have much sorrow. So you know what? Let's go back to the Greek way, right? Paul's always putting that on his Instagram and Facebook. But go ahead.
So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
See, you got a license to do this. You got a license to get gay marriage. We're going to give you the license now. Gay marriage. License now to use drugs. They legalized marijuana. They got places for you to go get high at. They give you free needles. Joe Biden did that. He gave them all needles, right? Needles and stuff to get high and different loans for people that's getting high, so they don't have them, supposedly the needles and all of that stuff, pipes all over the streets. And it is giving them some type of refuge. But just imagine, in the 90s, he was part of the crime bill for drugs, right? He was part of that big war on drugs, and now they come back with what they got going on now, right? Because his son is a damn crackhead. Go ahead.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
What they built?
A place of exercise.
All right, go ahead.
At Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
So now this ain't a regular gym. Oh, let's go get worked out. We working out. We strengthening our mind, body, and spirit. You know, getting our physical on, getting endurance, getting muscles, practicing boxing and skill fighting, protecting. Like David said in Psalms 144, teach for the Most High, teaching my hands the art of war. How you do that? By training, right? But this is a different type of gymnasium. Watch, go ahead.
and made themselves uncircumcised.
So they in there making themselves uncircumcised. How you make yourself uncircumcised? That's crazy, right? That's a leather face, man. Put a leather face on. Go ahead.
And forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots, and elephants, and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled.
Hey, Salaki. And with this, right, it's another example to point out. So you know how today we read about how certain things were going to happen to us as Israelites. And in the last days, certain plagues and prophecies to look out for they'll be fulfilled, right? And when we see these things being fulfilled, what do you still see? Israel going off, Israel waxing worse, Israel showing hatred to each other. A lot of Israelites doing what? Conforming to the ways of Esau today. And when you go back and look at the time of Maccabees and the history Chief going through right now, bro, this was the same thing. Real quick, go to Daniel chapter 11 and verse 1 real quick. And read down. So when you think about this time, right, we had the mighty man Daniel on the scene. Daniel prophesied hundreds of years before, you know what I'm saying, these people came on the scene that what? Alexander the freak was going to come about. His 4 generals was going to come about. And now what we going to as well about the wars between Antiochus and the wars of Ptolemy. Daniel prophesied that all this stuff was going to come to pass. But as you can see, we are the same people. Because why? The same way we see prophecy being fulfilled and still living wickedly today, they did the same thing back then. Read that when you get it, bro.
The book of Daniel, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Read.
Also I, in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to the strength of him.
Right.
And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia.
Right.
And the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia.
And that's what we're going into now. We reading about how Grecia got their power. And this was during the time of the Achaemenid Empire. I don't know how to say that A word, but it's the Achaemenid Empire. Keep going.
And the mighty king shall stand up, that shall rule with great dominion, and do according to his will.
And this is talking about Alexander the Greek. Read on.
And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken,
Right.
and shall be divided towards the 4 winds of heaven.
And why does it say his kingdom going to be broken? Because he was going to get sick and die at the age of 32. When it says his kingdom going to be given to the 4 winds, it's referring to his 4 generals. Read on.
Not his prosperity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled.
All right.
For the kingdom shall be plucked up,
Right.
even for others besides those.
And others beside those. So I ain't going to go into all this because I don't want to interfere what he about to read into this history. But when you read Daniel chapter 11, it goes hand in hand with the, you know what I'm saying, the lesson about the Maccabees and the history of the Maccabees. One more real quick. It's Sirach 11 and 14. Because what we about to read about and what Chief is about to take us through tonight, we finna learn about the adversity our people go through and also the prosperity that our ancestors went through and how they carried themselves through it. And that well, no matter what goes on, all this stuff comes from the Most High. So it's like we got to use these moments in this day of dedication to prepare ourselves and put ourselves in this same situation. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 14.
Read.
Prosperity and adversity.
It say what?
Prosperity and adversity.
Right.
Life and death.
Right.
Poverty and riches come of the Lord.
And it say they all come from the Lord. So with that, we got to keep that in mind. As you read this tonight, we're going to look and know and witness that prosperity and adversity, life and death all come from the Most High.
Yeah, that once again, prophecy, archaeology, history, it all goes hand in hand. Right? That's how we prove the Bible is a real book, man. Okay, go ahead. Go back to First Maccabees. Where we at?
15.
Go ahead.
And made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled.
Right, so let's get into real quick the four generals, right? We used to pass where it talked about the four generals, right?
Yeah, that was in
Yeah, the beginning. Right, the four generals, right? You had Ptolemy had Egypt. Seleucus had Syria, Babylon, Persia, and India. Cassander had Macedonia, and Lysimachus had Asia and India. Not Asia Minor, not Asia, India. So just understand, like, this is actual. This is how you prove it. The doubters, the ones that don't believe, the ones that believe this is a white man's book, right? Because they would have changed that history. Okay, but this is something just to understand. And Ptolemy now is he's catching the heat, right? So watch this here. Go ahead. And that just show you too. That's like Trump and Biden, how they going back and forth. Trump and Obama, right? The Clintons. They all going at each other, but they all work for the same cause. Right? Go ahead.
And made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar.
He entered proudly. This is what white folks do, man. Right? Go ahead.
And the candlestick of light.
So he took the golden altar, and that's why we kind of keep the golden fabric on, you know what I'm saying? This is all representation of the altar, right? We got the candlesticks. We got, we can't afford no real gold, goddamn, but we got gold material, you know what I'm saying, for the fabric store. But we try to imitate our forefathers as best as, emulate, right? Our forefathers and ancestors to the best of our capability, right? Go ahead.
And the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vitals, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
Now you gotta think about it. All of these things, only one tribe was supposed to deal with it. That's the Levites, the priests. We wasn't even the other tribes. We wasn't even supposed to touch none of that. The showbread, the altar, none of that. We couldn't touch none of that. These jokers said, "The hell with your God, the hell with the Levite, the priest of this temple. We're gonna flip it upside down and jack everything." Right? Go ahead.
He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Therefore there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
Right? Don't this sound like Thanksgiving? That's what it sounds like. Just like that. That's what they did to Gad. That's what they did to all the tribes. The Syrians did it to Northern Kingdom, right? The Greeks did it to Southern Kingdom, right? But go ahead.
Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
His chief collector of tribute. He coming to collect. They snatched everything, we're going to come collect. Go ahead.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
All was deceit, man. What that remind you of? What it remind you of in the scripture? What the Most High tell you? Never what? Never trust thine enemy. Go ahead.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore.
And hold that. Give me that real quick. in Psalms 55? Real quick. Just to show you, this is all biblical, man. And the Most High give us the guidance and direction to not, not fall for this okie doke, man. He gives us the discernment. But some people don't care. It's like that football player. What's that football player with that white woman now? The Heisman guy. That dude is bugged out. What was his name? Travis Hunter. That joker is bugged out. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder can see, bro, that ain't for you, Jack. That's for the streets.
Which verse on Psalms 55?
55 and 21. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
His words of his mouth was smoother than butter. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart, just like the chief collector of the damn Greek freaks. Go ahead.
His words were softer than oil.
Yeah, softer than oil. Hey man, you my brother, man. Hey, we all Christians, right? That's what they love to tell you. We all Christians. Jesus died for all of us, man. They try to tell you everything, right? Go ahead.
Yet were they drawn swords.
Yet were they drawn swords. The same thing they did to Gad, right? The same thing. This is a track record of white people. So you got to be a fool to be a Heisman. And then, let's be honest. If Travis Hunter wasn't the football player he was, that's not the pick of the litter. That joker, you know what I'm saying? He got an angel countenance. You know what I'm saying? He looked bugged out. The angel, when I say the angel countenance, I'm talking about Ezekiel, the first chapter. He got an angel countenance, and the man's bugged out. So, how and everybody's warning him. Every entertainer, every actor, got their little Bow Wow, Cameron. Everybody's warning the man. Other football players, they got another videos right with her giving it up to other people.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. I just learned about the dude today, and it said like her ex posted a video of her just.
Yeah, and he still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, sometimes it's like that's like us teaching this word and showing them, Christmas not in the Bible. This is what we supposed to be celebrating. We're not supposed to be celebrating Thanksgiving. Man, see? Yeah. So, through all of those things, you know what I'm saying? Like, this what it comes down to. You want to switch those? It's good? Oh, okay, come. Go ahead, just get them there. All right, so, but yeah, let's go back to the Apocrypha Bible Kashaw. Let's go back to the Apocrypha.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
You see that? They ain't even want the stuff. Go ahead.
But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
And that go back to the curses. See, the curses of Deuteronomy. You're going to have children and wives, and you won't be able to enjoy them. Right? Go ahead.
And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare.
Mm-hmm.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
Right, and this is the thing. And see, the scriptures also tell you there's no man, there's nobody perished being innocent. But it was, they didn't commit no crimes to these people. You go to war with people that's on self-defense. You go to war with somebody that's trying to harm you or your family, right? You don't go to war with somebody that's, that don't do nothing to you, right? Go ahead.
insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her.
And don't that feel like gentrification? I don't know if y'all, if any of y'all hoods ever been gentrified. Any hoods that y'all grew up at?
Yeah, mine.
And there's nobody there left, right?
Nobody.
That's the same thing with mine. Nobody there where I grew up at. It's sprinkles. You got probably 1, 2 jokers. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only ones that, for some reason, they stood there. But that gentrification is real, and they gentrified like this. They do different things, but now they use clever tactics. You know what I'm saying? They once you see a Walmart or a Lowe's or one of these big factories in the hood, that's when the price is going up. You know what I'm saying? They preparing for with Starbucks, any of these big franchises get prepared for gentrification. Go ahead.
Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt.
Right, and her feast turned to mourning, man. Now they got us following all of their feasts. And our people's all happy-go-lucky, not knowing that there's a curse upon them to celebrate it. It's paganism, and most of it is mocking our downfall. You know, you celebrating the victory of your oppressors with Thanksgiving. You celebrating goddamn Santa Claus, right? And Krampus, Saturnalia, you know, all paganism. And our people happy, man. Happy. You not in the Christmas spirit, right? Happy-go-lucky. Go ahead.
As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right, so there we go now. And that's what that's what they say, the conspiracy theories about these drones to and the Project Bluebeam to make a one world order or a religion. You know, one world religion, but that can only work in America if it does happen. That's why these brothers that deal with the mark of the beast doctrine, they got to revamp that thing, because if the mark of the beast is a chip, right, and America implements it, what you think Russia gonna do it? You think China gonna do it? No, they part of the BRICS. They not dealing with nothing America doing right now. They talking about Putin giving a cancer vaccine right now, showing them they got the cure for cancer. He's doing stuff purposely to show the American people that America been lying about everything. He said every political assassination, every real assassination in America or outside of America, guess who had a hand in it? The CIA and FBI. These are the words of Putin. Then Putin he show you the Russian icons. The Most High got a spirit on that man. You see what I'm saying? So where is the mark of the beast gonna come from? You got to be specific with a nation now. It can't be the whole world, because if the mark of the beast gonna come as a chip, the whole BRICS is not dealing with nothing that NATO got going on. They at war. That's a kingdom divided. So that mark of the beast chip, where is it gonna happen? Just in America? Now you gotta switch it up now. So the only ones who could get the mark of the beast is the niggas that don't live in America. I mean, the ones who could get it is the ones that live in America, not the other countries. It's flawed. Got holes in that doctrine. But everybody want to debate. Go ahead.
And every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites considered to his religion.
Right, you see, they consider to their religion. And that's what they do today, Christianity. Go ahead.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
And that's what they do. They profane the Sabbaths, right? Going out, partying like a rock star. They they give us these days. Now you see how the Most High have it where our feast days fall on during the time of Christmas. Sometimes this happens. The Most High do everything purposely, man. You know, and everything goes according to the new moons, of course. But the Most High do that because we gotta have something. We gotta have an outlet for the children. We gotta have an outlet for the women because they surrounded by this and they the weaker vessels, right? They families. Oh man, why you ain't coming to Christmas dinner? Why you ain't coming over here? Because we serving the Lord. You know, and it's hard. Whether your wife is in the truth or not, your family's in the truth or not, your mama, your daddy, now they looking at you like you bugged out because you're not over there practicing paganism with them. So this is all divide and conquer. And this been on the spirit of the white man from the beginning. This is their spirit. Right? Go ahead.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapel of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
They set up groves, man. The first commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me. The second commandment is no graven images. They set up groves of idols. You got Zeus, what's the other guys? Hercules, or what was them? Some of them Hades. All these different damn pagan gods, man. Horus, Ares. But and they groves of them. So you gonna come and just put this all in Israel, man? Put them in the temple. This shows you they everything they do is against the Most High.
And another thing is, what you gotta realize is, bro, this is a glimpse and a sign to come. This is a sneak peek of what Jacob's trouble gonna look like. And the only difference is we gonna be in America when it happens, right? But what type of mentality you gonna have? You gonna have a mind of fear? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna spiritually go to sleep? Or, you know what I'm saying, are you gonna stand up and die for what you believe in? Get 2 Maccabees 7-1. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said earlier, when you look in the book and read the books of Maccabees, you read about prosperity, adversity, life, and death. And it's like this book is the ultimate book to motivate you to, when times get hard and real adversity come our way as a people, what you gonna do? Are you gonna stand strong or are you gonna fold? 2 Maccabees 7-1. Because like he said, you know what I'm saying, you gotta realize, bro, we teach on the corners every week. No eating pork, no eating shrimp. You know what I'm saying? These other nations sitting there listening to us boldly say how we don't eat these things, and anybody who eating these things gonna get destroyed. But what you gonna do? Are you gonna be of that party of the Israelites who can send it to the Esau's religion, or are you gonna be one of the ones ready to die for what you believe in? Read.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to take swine's flesh.
To do what?
To take swine's flesh.
So Esau not just gonna bring swine around us when they conquer us just to be having swine in our face, swinging a pig neck or whatever they eat across our face to my ears. Smell it. Nah, he gonna say, hey, grab your fork, put this in your mouth and eat it. Read.
And were tormented with scourges and whips.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die. We are ready to die.
Read.
Rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
And so this is the mentality that some of our forefathers had back then when they went through their troubles as Israelites. You know what I'm saying? So reading this as well, we got to read this history and learn about it. But also you got to keep in the back of your mind too that as this happened in this day, it's going to come back around again. And hey, Esau going to put pork in front of a couple of us and want to see if you really ready to die about what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't going to read too much on that for time, but you know, just keep that in mind.
Come.
Can I get 2 Maccabees chapter 6 from verse 26? Because like the brother saying, you know, this time gonna come, you know what I'm saying, with a so-called white man, he gonna make us want to eat pork, make us want to eat pork, you know what I'm saying, to profane the Sabbath, break God's law, right? So we have mighty forefathers that stood stiffly for the laws, statutes, commandments. Bring it out.
It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men.
Right? Because you could be delivered from the punishment of men. That's you taking that part, taking that time to break God's law. You're gonna be delivered from men, but keep reading.
Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
But you cannot escape the hand of the Most High God. So when that time comes, Lord willing that you got in your mind and your spirit not to fold in those times, because at the end of the day, you cannot escape the Most High God. You can escape man for a moment, but you cannot escape the Most High God. But that is
Come, all praises, man. So let's go back real quick. We're gonna finish up the first chapter of Maccabees, and then we're gonna skim through some of the history.
Verse 49. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Right, and they changed the ordinances, man. They changed the law, and it said, well, whosoever, and what does that sound like? What does that sound like? All these new American policies, they're talking about Trump is trying to get rid of the Constitution, all of the stuff. Like, that Constitution was never made for us anyway. We use it from time to time, and we try to stand on it, but it's not made for us. Whenever Esau wanted, they come gather us up and throw us in the paddock like, this ain't our kingdom, this ain't our rest. That's why Yahushua said, render unto Caesar what is it. Go ahead.
In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land.
Yeah, there's a multitude of these jokers. All types of Negroes saying, hey, we gonna put the leather face on. That's crazy. Go ahead.
And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for secure.
And that's what's gonna happen. A lot of us gonna have to flee. We're gonna have to go in the woods. It's gonna be tabernacles full 24/7. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be in them tents. Most High willing, we all go through it, but in the scriptures it tell you it ain't gonna be for long. You know what I'm saying? Jake get crazy when they lose their Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? So imagine just being stuck in a place maybe for a year or two, but it ain't gonna be long. You know what I'm saying? We might have to be there, because Yahushua told you that. You know what I'm saying? For the how you go? For the elect's sake, the time shall be short.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Come on, go ahead.
Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
So they brought the big old pig snot, you know what I'm saying? Sloppy pig probably too. One of them big jokers. Go ahead.
And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire.
You see that? They everything of ours, man. Go ahead.
And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
And what does that sound like? That don't sound like slavery during the Atlantic slave trade, right? They catch a Negro reading, oh, you getting put to death. They catch you with certain things. They tell you, nah, nigga, your name is Toby now. You ain't Kunta no more. You gonna say something?
Yeah, also Trump, he said his plan was to ban the Bible too. I think they said China already did it. So it's gonna be them days almost like the book of Eli. Well, the Most High take the prophets off the street. It's gonna be illegal to read the Bible. You get caught reading the Bible, them folks gonna put you to death, man.
Right.
So it's gonna get real. They gonna turn up the heat on Jake.
It's lucky he coming out with a Trump Bible.
He'll come.
You got Kanye got his Bible, Trump got his Bible, everybody got a Bible now. Go ahead.
Verse 58. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
So they was going around, and that also sound like who looking for the Northern Kingdom, the company, the people that Trump made, the division Trump made, ICE. Trump made ICE, right? ICE is the division of people that the division of the government that goes out searching the so-called illegal aliens, and that's all they go for, right? Go ahead.
Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
You see that? Go ahead.
At which time, according to the commandments, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
Go ahead.
And they hinged the infants
But hold on. You see that? Now I'm going to show y'all something. After the decrees, you see that? There was still some women that didn't give a damn too. They was going to keep the laws of the Most High. So it's not just about the men too. There's some strong women in this. When you read the Maccabees, was it the second
Maccabees 7?
Right. You'll see that not only our forefathers, but our ancestors, them women was no joke neither, Jack. You know what I'm saying? They were weaker vessels, but they strong as oxes. So just understand that our men, our women stood up for this thing. All right, go ahead.
And they hinged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that they circumcised them. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Right, and then you got some people, right, if a decree come like that right now, what you gonna have? Joker's gonna be like, but we gotta use wisdom, all right? We gotta use wisdom. He can't be out there, brother. Nah, nigga, you scared, nigga. You scared, go to Christian. Go be a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we gonna stand up for the Most High. And yeah, you use wisdom. Don't put it on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? I circumcised my baby. Nah, you gotta still do it. Keep the law. And if you get caught, hey, you gotta take it. You earned your crown. You earned your crown with the Most High because you died in the blaze of glory, man. All right, go ahead.
Wherefore, the rather to die, that
Right.
they might not eat the defiled with meats.
Read that one more time. Go back up.
62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
That was men and women. Go ahead.
Wherefore, the rather to die,
That's right. Go ahead.
that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant, so then they died.
Right. So they ain't profaned it, man. They stood 10 toes down, man. Go ahead.
And there were very great wrath upon Israel.
Right. They said wrath coming now. So let's just read this part right here, the second chapter. First verse.
Chapter 2 and verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the son of Jebriah.
Now this is the lineage now. This is the lineage of the sons and the brothers, right? And this is the family that stood on business. You know what I'm saying? The family that stood on business. Shout out to the Levites. Right? Go ahead.
From Jerusalem and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Jonah, called Cadias, Simeon, called Thasius, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Avarim, and Jonathan, whose surname was Appius.
You know what I'm saying? This was that starting 5, Jack. You know what I'm saying? It's the starting 5 of the All-Star game. Right? Go ahead.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judea,
The blasphemies.
in Judah, and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people and the holy city, and to dwell there? when there is delivered into the hands of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hands of the strangers. Her temple is becoming as a man without glory.
Just shut it off and then put it back on. That clip right there. No. Yeah. So like it, go ahead.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity.
Right.
Her infants are slain in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Her young men were the sword of the enemy.
Right. That sounds just like the sub-Saharan slave trade, right? What the Arabics did to us. It sounds like the Atlantic slave trade, which the white folks did to us. This is that's why this is gonna happen again. In some way, somehow, they're gonna blame Russia on us. They're gonna do it. It's always the nigger fault. You know, it's the nigger and the Mexicans, the niggas and the spics. Right? Go ahead.
What nation had not had a part in her kingdom?
See, what nation haven't had a part of our kingdom, man? We trampled over by every nation. Go ahead.
And gotten of her spoils. All of her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she is become a bound slave.
Right, and that's what we are as a people. Go ahead.
And behold, our sanctuary, even our beautiful beauty and our glory is laid waste. And the Gentiles have profaned it.
Uh-huh.
To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. In the meanwhile, the king officers, such as to compel the people to revolt, came into the city of Madon to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came into them, Mattathias also and his sons came together.
Uh-huh.
Then answered the king officers and said to Mattathias of this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in the city, and strengthen the sons and brethren.
Right.
Now before come thus first, and fulfill the king's commandments.
And see, this is what they do. They go to the people that are more influential, right? That's why, and see, it's all about a matter of time, because it's not forever. That's why Diddy was influential, right, for a long time, 30 years. Take that. We won't stop, can't stop, right? That's what he was saying, all those years. So he had his reign, but he got to give it back. That kingdom ain't forever. The kingdom of the earth ain't forever. The kingdom of America ain't forever. So everything has its time limit. The influential, who else? Jay-Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
They coming for him. Look at everybody, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party had for their concerts. Because that's all this girl do. Kamala, all she did was throw concerts. Cardi B up there, don't know what the hell she talking about. You got Megan Thee Stallion twerking with a tie on, with a Democratic tie on. This is what they do, but this is the influence. They get the people that influence who? The youth, our children, most of this stuff. So they get people and influences that influence them children, man. Right? So they coming to Mattathias for this. They're like, yo, man, you got, niggas respect you out here in these parts. Yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? We got a good place for you. Right? Go ahead.
Like as all the heathen have done. Yea, all the men of Judah also and such a remain of Jerusalem, at Jerusalem.
Right. We got all your other cats. We got all these jokers. What's up, man? We need you down with us. Right? Go ahead.
So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends.
Yeah, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be well off. Go ahead.
And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
And what it tell you in Ecclesiastes 7:7? A gift destroys the heart. Right? Go ahead.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, through all the nations that are under the king's dominion, obey him, and fall away everyone from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
Uh-huh.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
Man, he said this loud. He wasn't sitting there, hey man, I don't know about all this, man. Nah, he let it be known, cause the same way fear spreads, so does courage. So you can spread fear. Oh man, we got a tough tail, this and that. They too strong, they too big. Look at them. Or what Adrian told Rocky, you can't win. He's too big, he's too strong. For the Russian, I will break you. Right? Go ahead.
We will not hearken to the king's words, to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in sight of all the sacrifices on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his rein trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to the judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
You can imagine what was going through his mind. That's the best understanding they could give you. But if you ever watch movies like that, when the frustration is coming and they show it like he's talking to himself, he's upset, you hear the thoughts coming out of his head. Read that part again.
Verse 24. Which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
He's inflamed with zeal. I know this joker ain't about to do this in front of me. Go ahead.
And his rein trembled.
His reins trembled, man. Go ahead.
Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
You know what that means? His eye twitching, his hands shaking. That frustration, sometimes when you about to get into a fight, that nervousness kick in. You don't be scared. It's something you're gonna get nervous sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Start shaking a little knot in your stomach, like, yeah, I'm about to get it on with these. You know what I'm saying? Because you got no other choice.
That pimping.
The what?
No, I said that pimping.
No, you gotta seize it. Go ahead.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
He ain't walk, he ran. You know what I'm saying? And slew him upon that altar. He made sure he got him. Right? What did he say? Kodak Black and them spot him, got him, gang? How they say it? What's it called?
Spot him, got him. See,
Yeah,
that's the wrong person.
Spot him, got him. Man. Hey, I'm learning this stuff in the South, man. I don't listen to these jokers, but I'm learning. I gotta stay hip with the people that's younger than me. Right? Go ahead.
Also the king's commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice. He killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down.
So he not only did he kill Uncle Tom, right? A sellout Negro, but he also gave the business to the heathen. You know what I'm saying? ABG. Anybody can get it when it comes against the Most High commandments. Go ahead.
Thus dealt he zealously for the law of the God of God, like a Phanes did unto Zimri, the son of Solomon. And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Who's zealous for this covenant, man, and this law, man, come follow us. Go ahead.
So he and his son fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city.
So what they did, they had to go and pitch tents. Now you on the run. You knew already it's on. You done slayed the Uncle Tom and slayed one of their officers. You had to flee, what Moses did. You gotta flee, it's time to go. See what they say, there's a time for all things under the heaven. So there's a time to stay and chit-chatty and patty, but there's a time to get up out of Dodge, right? If you hot, you made the block hot, you gotta go. Right, go ahead.
Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
Go ahead.
Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because affliction increased sore upon them.
So they went and they tabernacle in there. Go ahead.
Now when it was told the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandments were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness. They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
And that's what they did. They made war with them on the Sabbath day. Now, why would they make war with Israelites on the Sabbath day? Because but also because they studied us. They know what we're dealing with. They know our God. That's why they purposely profane everything that our power stands against. They purposely profane it. Right? Go ahead.
And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live.
Right.
But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day.
Right. So this is like when you got somebody got a hostage, or they holding people hostage, and you hear the police outside say, come out with your hands up. What you need? Well, they tell them, you got any what was it? How they say it when they trying to negotiate? Yeah, any demands. They be like, I want a helicopter with full gas. I want this. Like you see the movies, hey, you ain't getting away. You talking about you need a helicopter with full gas. So this is what they're doing, right? Go ahead.
So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
You won't get all of this with all speed. Take everything. Go ahead.
Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid. But said, let us die all in our innocence. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that ye put us to death wrongfully.
Right.
So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children, and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people.
Those them jokers that were scared to fight. They were so nervous. We got to keep the law. This is where wisdom, we got to keep. Now you got to use wisdom. You either die on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? While you say you keeping it, and you gonna let your children die and your wife die, you definitely not. You got no spirit of discernment, man. The Most High, like what they say, they blame it on Moses. You took us to the wilderness to die? No, man. He ain't take you to Mattathias, ain't take you to the wilderness to die. Okay, go ahead.
Now when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. At that time therefore they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Neither will we die all, as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
See, but they learned from that mistake. They learned from that lesson. And sometimes the Most High show you like, yo, y'all gonna go out like this, or you gonna go all out. Go ahead.
Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntary, devoted unto the law. Also all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
So this will tell you right there, they was purging out the wicked men even amongst them before they went to war. That's why you always hear us when we teaching on the streets and we tell jokers, man, Harriet Tubman would have shot you. Nat Turner would have cut you. He would have killed you. You see, because you wasn't built for this. You over here capping and caping for the oppressors, right? So this is what they did. They got rid of that. You can't go to war knowing, yo, this dude wishy-washy right here. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep him in the camp. And then you can't let him go, because if you let him go and you see he feeble, what they going to do if he get captured? They going to let everybody know where you at. He going to turn on you. Hey, yo, man, they let me go. You're going to be like the dude at the end of 300, the hunchback, that gave him up. Right? He couldn't lift the sword. He couldn't lift the shield. Right? Go ahead.
Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
They They own it. Go ahead.
They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, Now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction, and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Now hold that. Give me was it in Ecclesiasticus, a leaven of avenger, a son, one like thee. You know what I'm talking about? Get that real quick. They grieveth the enemy.
That's Conrad 33.
Give me that.
33.
33.
30 and 3. Oh, good shot.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 3. He that teaches his sons grieveth the enemy.
So how you teach if you teach your son you grieve the enemy, you teaching your son what? The commandments of the Most High. Go ahead.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
You gonna rejoice because your son gonna make daddy and mommy look good. Go ahead.
Through his fathers die, yet he is also through he were not dead.
Right? So just Mattathias got them 5 waiting for him. You know what I'm saying? Passing. They usually say, "Mama don't raise no fool." You know. Go ahead.
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
So he left one behind him that's like himself. He ain't leaving one. How many he left?
3.
5. Go ahead.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
He left behind an avenger against his enemies. Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his soul
That's it on that. But I just want to show you that matter. All of this, when you really go into the Maccabees, we could pull up so many precepts to show how these brothers listened to wisdom, the instruction of wisdom. They kept the law. They knew the law. It's so many precepts that can go into it. You know what I'm saying? You want to bring it? Okay. Go ahead, let's go back to Maccabees.
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness?
So this right here, this chapter, y'all should always read when y'all going through the flames and fire, man. All right, always go to the second Maccabees, first Maccabees, the second chapter. Watch this here. Go ahead. Read that part again, 52.
Come on. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness?
Right now, we going to rundown of our forefathers, man. Go ahead.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Right, even though his whole family turned on him, man. Right, go ahead.
Phinehas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
No, not Yahushua.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Go ahead. It was Joshua. Go ahead.
Oh, it's like Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
Go ahead.
Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
Right. That was Joshua and Caleb was the generation that didn't get purged out. Right. That was a new generation. Go ahead.
David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Right. And who was he merciful? Who was David merciful unto? Saul, right? He saw, and he had all rights. According to the law, David had all rights to kill Saul and finish him. But he didn't. He showed mercy on that crazy joker. Go ahead.
Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. And Ananias, Azarias, and Messiah, by believing, were saved out of the flame.
Right.
Daniel, for his
Innocency.
innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Uh-huh.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Always keep that in mind, man. Our forefathers been through worse things than you could only imagine. Me and my brother was having this conversation. She was bringing up, who was it she brought up? She was brought up somebody, and I was like, nah, there's no way it's worse than Job. I forgot who it was. I forgot she is over there, but nah, I forgot who it was. But Job, Job is a whole different ball game, bro. You lose everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And still stay faithful through all of that. Jokers lose their job and you never see them around. Niggas lose a woman and they know where they're all going through it. You got 99 problems, right? Now 100. Because you got the woman problem. You know what I'm saying? Jokers give up, you lose your job, you don't see jokers. You got women problems, you don't see jokers. They'll blame everything on their car. You talking about the car don't work. You can jump on the train, talk about the train quarter flat. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Jokers make excuses, man. But our forefathers didn't make no excuses. Right? It says, and thus consider ye throughout all ages, okay, all ages, all generations. All right? It says that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome, man. So you got to put more faith. The Christians got one thing, right? They say faith in it until you make it. You got to put that faith in it, man. Go ahead.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
Right. Fear not the words of them, no matter what they come against us with. Right? Go ahead.
Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust. And this thought is come to nothing. Wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory. You
see that? Show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, man. Not a little punks, not a little chumps. Show yourself men, and that goes for you brothers now that's having children. What example are you leaving for your children? If you got sons, what are you doing? How are you living? Or daughters, how are you living? You gotta think about that because they watch your every move, man. Go ahead.
And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
Go ahead.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
So he's giving them the rank now. He's giving his sons the rank. He's giving them the order, the structure. That's called militant, man. You ain't gonna tell him, hey, you go to this one for counsel when he's too hasty. You ain't gonna go to this one, talk about, this one you go let him lead you into war, and he's a coward. Right? Go ahead.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Right.
Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law.
Recompense what?
Recompense fully the heathen.
Recompense fully the heathen. Go ahead.
And take heed to the commandments of the law. So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin, and all Israel made great lamentation for him.
So we're going to skip through it, but go ahead, read the first verse of the third chapter.
First Maccabees 3 and verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
Right, that's the captain now. Right, he's the captain of the ship. Also a little cut for that. Right, because it said, so he got his people, right, what they call them? The Anunnaki, the Nephilims. Right? So it said, so he put, that's big armor, man. You know what I'm saying? But was he a giant, a physical giant? No. Was he a giant in history? Of course. Giant in guerrilla warfare. Giant of our people. That's why we still read about him today. Right? His name lives forever. Go ahead.
So he gave his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles protecting the host with his sword. In his acts he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp warring for his prey.
In his acts, he was like a lion. This is a different type of warrior here, man. Right? Go ahead.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burnt up those that vex his people.
Come on, man. That's the spirit you gotta have. That's why the Christians talk about God is all love. That's crazy. They believe that because they don't read the rest of this Bible. This big old Bible, they don't read the rest of this stuff. Right? They tell you the Old Testament God is a bloody God. Go ahead.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand.
Hey, the wicked shrunk for fear of him, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the spirit of the Lord like that, man. Go ahead.
He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever.
He grieved many kings, right? But what it tell you though, his memorial is blessed forever, man. Go ahead.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
Right.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish.
Go ahead.
Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together and a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel. Which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled.
Right. Go ahead.
Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius swore also, and therewith he fought all his life long.
See, so he took that sword and he was fighting with that sword. That's where they get that that cartoon the sword and the stone. Only somebody can get it out. Is it Alexander and the sword?
King Arthur.
King Arthur? No, that wasn't King Arthur.
He had to pull the sword out of the stone.
Excalibur.
The Excalibur.
Oh, Excalibur.
But it was King Arthur though with the Excalibur? Okay. Right? So that sword, but King Arthur was also a man in history also. That was another black man that was whitewashed. Right? All of those prestige noble men in ancient times, most of them was whitewashed. Right? But that sword, that's what he went to war with. That was his souvenir. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm gonna use this one for, and that had to be a nice sword. That good metal, man. Sharp. Right? Go ahead.
Now when Saron, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandments.
See, so they take it, they want a name. You want a name for yourself. That's what Jake Paul did to Mike Tyson. He bought himself a name, said, I beat Mike Tyson. That thing went on damn Mike Tyson's record, his boxing record. This is what they do, man. They want a name against us. Right? Go ahead.
So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the
bunch of
children
wicked niggas. Right? A mighty host of ungodly. Go ahead.
to help him and be avenged of the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
And when he came near to the going of Betheron, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
Right? We got this. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas don't got the God of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? Go ahead.
Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
Go ahead.
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few, and with the God of heaven it is all one, to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
Right. He said, he told him like it to Juice and Tupac and Juice, this nigga's scared. Right? But he didn't say that. He said, y'all niggas, what y'all talking about, bro? We got the Most High here. All right? Don't worry about this thing here. Okay?
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
That strength coming from heaven, man. It don't matter about these numbers. Don't matter how big these jokers are. These niggas is all wicked, right? They got chicken feet in their pocket, probably. You know what I'm saying? Idols in their pocket. They ain't finna do nothing. Go ahead.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us.
And that's the other thing. Like, what you gonna do? You just gonna give it all up? Because they're gonna take everything. If you gonna just die here, or you gonna fight here? Right? Go ahead.
But we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, ye be not afraid of them. Now as soon as
the Lord is gonna overthrow them, right? So you see that you can read the rest of that. We're gonna slide down. Where is it at? Let's go to where is it? It'd be a name for generations. Salaki. No, I'm trying to finish this part out where it got ordained. The feast got ordained up. Where the feast got ordained.
Tomorrow. This first Maccabees 4:52.
Yeah, we're gonna skip down.
Yeah, 51. Start at 51.
Yeah, go to that.
351.
Yeah.
No, Salaki, go to
Let's start at first Maccabees 4:36 and read down.
Is it First Maccabees chapter what now?
4 verse 36.
This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 4 verse 36. Then said Judas and his brethren, Behold, our enemies are discomfited, but let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
right. So this is after all the wars. This is what when they took back the temple. And what temple are we taking back today? Everybody's waiting for the third temple, right? That's what the so-called Jews waiting for. That's what Ishmael's waiting for. That's what the world is waiting for. The third temple is us, right? We're the third temple. You the third temple. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the altar, right? Go ahead.
Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profaned and the gates burnt up and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary.
Right. Go ahead.
So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law, who cleansed the sanctuary and bare out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profaned, they thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them.
Right.
Because the heathen had defiled it.
Right, you don't even want that in the temple. We ain't gonna just wash it and clean it and put some alcohol, rubbing alcohol on it. Right, go ahead.
And thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be reproached to them, because the heathen had defiled it. Wherefore they pulled it down and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place, until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them.
Right.
Then they took the whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former, and made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple, and hollowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings and of incense and the table.
Right, now watch this. Go hold that. Don't drop that. Go to Numbers 7 and 10. But this is to show you that this ain't nothing new what they was doing. right? That this is the Feast of Dedication, right? It's also not only them dedicating themselves for our people and everything, and for the Most High, but also the dedicating and the revamping of the altar, man, right? The dedication of the altar. Let's go to that, 7 and 10, number 7 and 10.
Goes Numbers chapter 7 and verse 10. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the altar.
Right, so this is the dedicating of the altar, right? Go to, drop down to 84 verse.
You said it, number 84.
Yes, number 784.
So, it's number 784. This was the dedication of the altar. In the day when it was anointed by the princes of Israel, 12 charges of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold.
Right, and this is all the stuff they took out of the temple. Right, so this is the stuff that had to get rededicated and re-put in the altar, in the altar and in the temple. Right, go to 88 verse.
Verse 88. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 24 bullocks, the rams 60, the he-goats 60, the lambs of the first year 60. This was the dedication of the altar. After that, it was anointed.
Right. You see, so this ain't nothing. This was actually in the law. So when people try to tell you that this, well, it ain't in Leviticus 23, right? This ain't in Leviticus 23. No, this is the dedication of the altar was still in the law. It was still in the Torah. So just keep that in mind, right? Give a couple more though, real quick. Nehemiah 12 and 27. But this happened every time we had to redo the temple, man. Every time we had to build up the temple.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 12 and verse 27. And at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem, to keep the dedication with gladness, both with thanksgivings and with singing with cymbals.
You see that? So the dedication was here before the Maccabees. The Maccabees was the children of the law, man. The children of the law makers, the law givers, the priests, right? The Levitical priesthood. So that's why they was doing what they did. That's why they had that zeal, man. Go to 2 Chronicles 7 and 9. Also, again, back into the Torah. So don't let these jokers fool you talking about, oh, it's not in Leviticus 23, because that's what they like to do. These niggas just don't want to come together. That's all it is. They don't want to come together, and they hate when they see our pictures and our videos, you know, of all the camps coming together, man. All the congregations, when they coming together, it just be that them haters, man. They sit on there, They ain't got nobody to talk to. They got no brothers, no sisterhood, no brotherhood, and they envious, man. And they just, you know, misery love company. Go ahead, read that.
2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 8.
7 and 9.
7 and 9. And in
Well,
the 8th,
you read that. Go ahead.
8. Also at the time of Solomon kept the feast 7 days, and all Israel with him, a very great congregation, from the entering of the month unto the river of Egypt. Verse 9. And in the 8th day they made a solemn assembly, for they kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days.
So now, what was the Hanukkah resembled after? What was it created after?
Tabernacle?
No. What he said is it was created after a replication of tabernacles. You know what I'm saying? That's what Hanukkah is. That's why we have it the same days. That's why it's the same day length. Okay? So let's go back. I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. And also, yeah, when we finish this, I want to show y'all something else. But go ahead. Let's go back to Maccabees. Finish that.
Was it 4 and like 8 or something? 50. 4 and 50.
This is 1 Maccabees 4 and verse 50. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlesticks they lighted, that they might give light into the temple.
Uh-huh.
Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veils and finished all the works which they had begun to make.
Right. And once again, we did a class on it. What the seven candlesticks represent?
7 churches.
It represents the 7 churches, yeah, but what else it represents? What it really represents in the temple?
Son.
7 days.
The 7 spirits of the Most High.
7 spirits.
The 7 spirits of the Most High. Right? Y'all go look that one up and y'all see what's the 7 spirit. We don't go into that for time's sake. Right? But go ahead. It's on the YouTube, by the way. Go ahead.
Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and cymbals and harps and cymbals.
Right.
Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Right.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed.
And now also, see, when you go into that with the shields, you know, some will say, well, you know, they were putting shields up, you know. Some will say it'll be the shield of what they call the Star of Remphan. You know what I'm saying? But they decorated the whole temple, right, with shields also. Go ahead.
And hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness.
So now they ordained this. This was added also, right? How did they ordain it, and how can they ordain it? How can the Maccabees, Judas Maccabees, ordain something? Who's the lawgiver? We know it's Yahushua, but who gives you the law? If we're not under the priesthood of Melchizedek, the Levites, right? Go ahead.
At that time also they built up the Mount Sion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Against the Edomites. Against Idumea, right? So now, just for the scoffers out there, let's go to Sirach 33. Let's go to Sirach 33 and 7. This is to show you that, you know, we do have days outside of Leviticus 23. Purim is part of it, right? Who you would say the Most High can't add stuff if he want to add stuff? He did. And these are memorials. They're not Sabbaths. They're not holy convocations, but it's times that we're supposed to gather, right? And these are different days in our timeline and our history, right? Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7. Why do one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Right, so every day have the same, right? They got light, they got night, right? They got day, they got night. Go ahead.
By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
Right, he altered seasons and feasts. He gave us the breakdown and understanding of the new moon, and that's how we keep the feast, right? Okay, go ahead.
Some of them he made high days,
right,
and hallowed them, and some of them he had made ordinary days.
So he made ordinary days, and then he had high days. The Sabbath is a high day every week, right? And then there's some days that's ordinary. Go ahead.
And all men are from the ground.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So That's what that is. The Most High make his days. He got his holy days. There's holy days and then there's feast days. Every day ain't a feast, right? You got a holy day, which is Day of Atonement. Is that a feast day? No. But it's a holy day. So every holy day ain't a feast. But and every feast ain't a holy day. You see what I'm saying? Every feast ain't a holy day. So what we're in today is not a Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? But you should keep it with gladness and mirth and enjoy the food, the festivities, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, and you should come together. We need more days, especially during these demonic holidays, to come together for the children and give them something. You know, there's nothing wrong with giving gifts on Hanukkah, but that really wasn't when we gave gifts. That's when we fought for our lives. You know what I'm saying? That the gifts came during Purim. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with giving out gifts just to show them, listen, you ain't got to deal with this, son. Daughter, you ain't got to deal with no Christmas. Don't worry about them devils. So, I don't know, you want to bring something out? You want to bring something out? Okay, so I just wanted to bring all of that up, right? But let's go to Matthew 2:1.
It's the book of Matthew chapter 2 and verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen...
No, it's a lot. Where is it? The feast, when you go to John 10:22. Why is it my notes? This was something else. John 10:22.
It's the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
Right.
And it was winter. And
it was what?
Winter.
Right. So you can't have a dedication in the spring. You can't have a dedication in the fall. You can't have a dedication in the summer, because then you're all out of season. Right? Now you're doing something wrong. Your calculations is off. And we know we're rehearsing the righteous acts, but goddamn, son, what are you doing? Right? Go ahead.
And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. And then came the Jews round about.
So what did Yahushua do during that time? The Feast of Dedication. He kept it. He kept it. So just to show you, this was kept from the Torah through the Apocrypha into the Mashiach. You see what I'm saying? So all of our forefathers and our ancestors and the Mashiach kept this thing. So all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Anybody got any questions? I know you're hungry. I know like these niggas talking. I thought you were gonna just read one chapter. But all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. We're gonna anoint everybody, do the breaking of the bread, set up the prayers, and then we can eat, drink, and be merry. So you wanna get the oil, anoint everybody, and we're gonna do it all as one instead of individuals.
Let me spread the bread around.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, go ahead, go around first. Have a good show. All praises. So happy Feast of Dedication, happy Hanukkah, also happy Feast of Lights, right? This is also called the Feast of Lights. And that's where they get the Christmas lights from. They steal everything and turn it to the left-hand side. They take everything. We ain't no Christmas trees. Yeah, get that unleavened bread and that wine there. If everybody could get, you could pour everybody their cups. We got the grape juice. Hopefully we got grape juice for the pregnant women and the non-drinkers, non-alcoholic drinkers. All praises. We gotta do this now. Everybody got their oil. And we gotta get their unleavened bread, and everybody get their wine. We get the wine. Yeah, we got get them plastic cups. I don't know, we ain't got them small cups, but I'm gonna order a pack of new cups. Get that guy on the round. Eat, drink, and be merry. And hopefully, y'all ain't in a rush to leave unless y'all going to celebrate a Christmas party tomorrow. And if y'all doing that, y'all off. Y'all dealing with paganism. All right, you're not supposed to deal with nothing that got to do with Christmas. If you work, if your job has a Christmas party, you're not supposed to partake in that. But if they gonna give you a Christmas bonus, now you gotta use wisdom. If you're gonna get time and a half, you gotta go to work, that's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't tell you to turn no money down. You know what I'm saying? They give you some money in a card, throw that card away and take some money. You know what I'm saying? But don't be in the festivities and everybody got their ugly Christmas sweaters and you singing jingle bells in a hotel, office. Right? Don't be doing that.
Destroy the heart now.
Right. Yeah, to give destroy the heart. But you ain't being bought out. You say, thank you. This is called, you take that as reparations. Right? But you ain't going there to drink they eggnog.
That's like saying
and eat their ham hocks.
That's like saying you going to your grandma's house to get a Christmas present. She got you $1,000.
But you're not going to them. Now they give you an envelope at the job and say, here, it's your New Year and Christmas bonus. Well, you gonna say, nah, I'm all right.
Your grandma
I don't want no money. Nah, that's not wisdom. That's not wisdom.
Your grandma got the same envelope.
Well, if your grandma give you an envelope, hey man,
Take the money out.
as long as you're not picking it up under a tree, she want to give you some money, man. Hey, if you got enough money in your bank account, you don't need it. Hey, to you, to each his own. Money's a defense. You know what I'm saying? Money is defense. I'm not gonna tell you to not use wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But if you sitting there and you going into the Christmas party and you talking about, man, I'm just here to, you know, they got some wings in there, some buffalo wings. They got some Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
What if you started?
You gotta go get right. You gotta go get right. You gotta go to the 99-cent menu. Go get the 99-cent menu, goddamn. But use wisdom. And hey, if you get that time and a half, get that time and a half. But also, the end of this, Sunday's a new moon. Sunday's a new moon, and the end of this is the last day will be January 1st. So we want to hold the new moon down, but January 1st we trying to do a camp. A New Year's rebuke camp, New Year's Eve, because that's when all the festivities go down. So we would like to do that, so we probably won't be able to close out on the 1st. If brothers can make it, we want to pull up to Savannah. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the fireworks and all of that going across the water. And a lot of people get off January 1st. So if brothers can make it, man, have a big camp, a big rebuke camp in Savannah, Georgia. Late night. What? Everybody got their yarn. Everybody got their. So you got your cup. You gotta give them a cup of juice. And put one. Some.
Oh.
Don't get drunk now. All right. So everybody got theirs. All praise and glory to the Most High. So I'll blow these horns. Blow for sure. stand with they piecing up. It's all. Nah, you good. Oh, let's get that scripture first. Corinthians. You want to get it? And then after you get Acts 2.
First Corinthians 11:23.
God, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 23. For I have received of the Lord that which is also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushua, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner, he also took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat that bread, and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body.
Keep going.
For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
That's it.
Acts 2, 44.
It's the book of Acts 2 and verse 44. And all that believed were together and had all things common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising Yahweh and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved.
Come. There's the peace and thanksgiving offering, right? By the power of the Mashiach, our high priest, after the order of Melchizedek, who spiritually administers our wave and heave offering, and who prepares the peace and thanksgiving offering of the saints and members of the congregation on the brazen altar of our power Yahweh in heaven. He dresses the golden lamps and burn the perpetual incense day and night on the golden altar. In the sanctuary of our power Yahweh, we, the priesthood of the Mashiach, fully bear our cross and humbly present ourselves a holy oblation to our power Yahweh, a memorial of unleavened cakes of bread and virtue anointed with oil. Oh, Salakia. Fully bear our cross. We, the priesthood of the Mashiach, fully bear our cross and humbly present ourselves a holy oblation to our power, Yahweh, living sacrifice unto our Abba in heaven, wholly acceptable before the Most High, with a memorial of unleavened cakes of bread and virtue anointed with oil, salted with the salt of the oath of the covenant, and wine as a drink offering to our power Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and as the righteous blood of our Mashiach sprinkled about the altar, the horns of the altar, and poured out at the base of the altar to our living power Yahweh that dwells within us. So you wave it from side to side, wave the wine and the bread, right? We ask that the all-consuming fire of our power Yahweh come down as a whirlwind and illuminate the brazen altar within us, and consume the sacrifice presented by our high priest, the blood of the sacrifice, the unleavened cakes of virtue that are bathed in oil, the salt of the oath and the covenant, and all things that pertain to this offering. Let the smoke of the sacrifice fill the corridors and all quarters of the tabernacle in heaven. Let it be found acceptable and serve as a sweet savior. And in the presence of the Most High, a holy oblation, a peace and thanksgiving offering, a solemn spiritual sacrifice, creating peace and showing thanksgivings between us and our power, Yahweh. Look upon us for good and not evil all the days of our existence. Remove the curses that have plagued and overwhelmed us for so long, and instill the blessings that are inseparable from thy holy covenant. Body of the Mashiach. Yeah, eat it. Blood of Mashiach. Praises. So this is the anointed prayer. Remember praying in your heart and in your spirit, in your mind, of what you're going through, what you're dealing with, right? We're going. The brothers can repeat it. Get that woman some water. All right. The brothers repeat it, but remember praying your subconscious in your mind of what you're dealing with, what you're going through, what you're asking the Most High for. Yabaraka, Yahweh, Wayashamaka, Yahweh, Panyawa Ayaka, Wayachanka, Yeshayahawa, Panyawa Ayaka, Wayasham Laka, Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Yasha'Allah. That's the anointed prayer. That's found in the book of Numbers, 6th chapter. This Psalms 136, y'all know, when you hear His mercy endure forever, call out Yahweh, right? Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, for He is good, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, God of gods, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, Lord of lords, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
To Him who alone doeth great wonders, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
To Him that by wisdom made the heavens, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
To Him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
To Him which made great lights, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
The sun to rule by day, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
The moon and stars to rule by night, for His mercy endure forever.
Call out Yahweh.
To Him that smote Egypt and their firstborn, for His mercy endure forever.